All right, this is video for 6B. In 6A, we talked about how to decide whether or not something was a binomial experiment and then finding N, P, and Q. So in this video, what we're going to do is look at ways to calculate binomial probabilities. Okay, so three different kinds of probabilities that we're going to look at. All right, P of X is just the probability of an exact number of successes. So if I flip a coin 10 times, what's the probability that I get 4 tails? All right, P that X is less than or equal to some number. So if I flip that same coin, what's the probability I get less than 4 tails? So I get 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. And this says binom CDF. All right, that is in reference to what it looks like on your calculator, because I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to find all of these probabilities. All right, so we'll talk about that when we get to the calculator steps. And then we could also do the other, which is P is that X is greater than some number. So getting at least 4 tails. And that's usually the words you'll see is at least. So that would be 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Okay, and there we're going to have to do some math, and we're going to do 1 minus the probability that we get from our calculator. All right, so our example, 70% of stat students turn their practice problems in on time. That is clearly a made-up statistic because y'all don't do that. Okay, so out of misspeaks 50 statistics students, what is the probability that 40 of them do their 6A practice on time? So that's first question. And second question, how many students do we expect to do the practice problems on time? Okay, so first thing we have to decide is this a binomial experiment? All right, well, do we have a set number of trials? Yes, because we have 50 statistics students. So N is equal to 50. Okay, do we have 2 possible outcomes? Okay, in this case, yes, success or failure would be success, you turned it in on time, failure, you did not. Okay, so we have 2 outcomes, and the trials are independent because you guys are all individual students who can make your own decisions. So check, this is a binomial experiment. All right, define the random variable X. So for this, we're going to say that X is 40 students. So we're looking for the probability that exactly 40 students, all right, do their practice problems on time. Okay, and then let's go ahead and find P and Q. So P, remember, whoops, sorry. P, remember, is the probability of success. Okay, and so we said that was 0.70 because 70% turned it in time. Q would be the probability of failure, so that would be 0.30. All right, so now we're going to use our graphing calculator to find this probability. All right, and so here's your steps. So I have it written out for Casio and for TI. TI people, I don't have a TI that I can put on the screen to show you, but here's your steps. All right, and hopefully you can follow those steps, and if not, ask me in class. Casio people, I'm going to walk through with you guys. All right, so we're going to press menu, and we want stat. So stat is number 2 for me. Okay, and then F5 says distribute right there, distributions. That's what that stands for. All right, and I want binomial, so I'm going to press F5 again. All right, now if it is an exact probability, P of X, we're going to use BPD, so we're going to use F1. All right, if it's a cumulative probability, like the second and third option that I gave you, we're going to use BCD. All right, so this one is an exact probability. Okay, when you click in here, yours probably says list. We do not want to use list. All right, we want variable. Okay, so I'm going to press F2 so that the data is based just on what I put in here. All right, and so I'm going to input numbers for each of these. So X is the exact number of successes that we are looking for, which would be 40. The number of trials, we said N is equal to 50. And then P, the probability of success, is 0.70. And then I'm just going to press execute. And there is my probability, 0.0386. All right, we're going to go to 4 decimal places unless it says otherwise. So the probability of exactly 40 students doing their 6A practice on time would be 0.0386. Okay, so 0.0386. 386. That's what we got from the calculator. And then the second question, how many students do we expect to do the practice problems on time? Remember last time we talked about the word expected value. That's the mean. All right, so expected value is the same as the mean, and your formula for mean was n times p. Okay, so 50 trials times 0.70, which is my probability of success, and 50 times 0.7 is 35. Okay, so I expect that 35 of you will do your 6A practice on time. All right, and the next example we're going to look at, a store has a 560-page catalog. 8 of those pages have signature artist. We're going to randomly pull out 100 pages from that catalog. Okay, and this time they defined our random variable x for us. X is the number of pages with signature artist. So we're going to find these 3 probabilities. All right, so 2 pages have signature artists. So this is the probability that x equals 2. All right, that is going to be an exact probability. So I'm going to grab my calculator. Okay, press exit so that I can go back. So I want BPD here, all right, because this is an exact probability. Okay, so X we said is going to be 2. I'm going to pick 2 pages. All right, I am sampling 100 pages from that catalog, and my probability of success, so this is what we have to figure out. There are 8 pages out of 560 that have signature artists. So my P is going to be 8 out of 560. All right, and I'll let the calculator turn that into a decimal, that's fine. Okay, and so my probability there is 0.2466. So the probability that 2 pages have signature artist, all right, is 0.2466. Okay. Now, less than 3 pages have signature artists. Okay, so less than, that's going to be our binomial CDF, or in the Casio, it says BCD. Okay, so less than 3 pages, if you have a Casio, it's that BCD. If you have a TI, it's the binom CDF. It's a cumulative probability. Okay, so let me grab my calculator. All right, so we're doing BCD. Okay, still want variable data. All right, X this time is going to be 3. All right, I want less than 3 pages. Still 100, and my P is still the same. So 0.9443. That's the probability that out of my 100 pages, less than 3 of them have signature artists. All right. And then at least 4 pages have signature artists. So I'm going to press exit. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to change my X to 4. All right, because I want 4, at least 4 pages. Everything else can stay the same. My number of trials and my P is still the same. Okay, now the calculator says 0.9854 when I round it. All right, 0.9854. Okay, that is the probability that less than 4 pages have signature artists. Because remember, when we use those words at least, we have to do 1 minus. Okay, so 1 minus 0.9854. That is what I need. All right, so I want to go back to my regular calculator. 1 minus 0.9854. All right, 0.0146. 0.0146 is my probability of at least 4 pages having signature artist. Okay, practice problems are in Go Formative, and then come to class for the help session if you have questions.